Hey guys, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz. Hope you're having a great one. We're going to highlight some of the good news today in the crypto space. We'll make it a little bit more of a conversational video because I have some theories and whatnot. I want to pontificate and kind of talk you through my hypotheses out loud. We'll try that format. And really this all revolves around US inflation numbers that just came out and hit 7% for December. These are some of the worst inflation numbers since 1982. Because Bitcoin and by extension the rest of currency is viewed as a little bit of a hedge against inflation, especially USD inflation, this translated into good news for the market. We're also going to take a look at very good news for Harmony, which is up over 11% on the day. Fantom FTM is up at nearly 13%. We're also celebrating Celer network up 11% even on the day. So guys, if you like this kind of content, Bitcoin, blockchain, cryptocurrency, altcoins, of course, be sure to like and subscribe to Altcoin Buzz. All right, guys, my name is Matty, and this is Altcoin Buzz. We're a crypto investment research company. Now, as a reminder, we're going to be talking about things, of course, but you know already that none of this is ever financial advice. In fact, so much so is it not financial advice that it really just boils down to our opinions. I'm going to be talking about my opinions, what I'm enthusiastic about, what perhaps I'm a little bit skeptical about. I'm just throwing it out there, very stream of consciousness. So if you like that kind of content, great. Again, like, subscribe, share, but never financial advice, just a reminder. So right now, let's do a quick refresh, but as you can see, the market seems to be up pretty handsomely at the time of this recording as I speak, up 3.9%, so climbing even more. Bitcoin, as you guys may remember, was down in a pretty ugly state. It broke some resistances down below $40,000, which was not fun for anybody to see, but it bounced up seemingly just as quickly. We never wicked down below $39 or so thousand, I think it was. According to CoinGecko here, we never went below 40. That's kind of strange, but we definitely saw it on some of the charts below kind of 39.6, 39.5. Fortunately, I guess the bulls won that battle and the bears were exhausted and we wicked up just as quickly. So BTC up 1.6% on the day. Really, in my opinion, at least on the back of this news, we're looking at the Wall Street Journal here. And for a lot of people, myself included, I don't know if you guys feel this way, let me know in the comments below, but for a lot of people, what brought you into cryptocurrency, I'll speak for myself, what brought me into cryptocurrency kind of in the first place was this idea that not only Bitcoin, but blockchain technology kind of ensured a safe haven for your assets and presented at least one option that allowed you to put your wealth away, to store it, and in a manner that would protect you against inflation. And we're seeing some of the worst inflation right now that we've seen in a long time. According to this article, again in the Wall Street Journal, the worst for the month of December, 7% since 1982. US inflation hit its fastest pace in nearly 4 decades last year as pandemic-related supply and demand imbalances, along with stimulus intended to shore up the economy, pushed prices up to a 7% annual rate. For those of you that have been around a little bit longer, you can go back and you can compare and contrast what's happening right now with these inflation rates versus what we saw, I guess, a couple generations ago in the United States under President Jimmy Carter. I'm not here to pontificate politically, but there you have it. Everybody's covering this right now. The Financial Times, US inflation soars to 7% for the first time since 1982. And year-on-year rise in CPI, that's the Consumer Price Index, comes as Federal Reserve lays the groundwork for tighter policy and rocketing prices. So in my opinion, it was kind of unfortunate that not only Bitcoin, but tech, the rest of traditional investments, Wall Street crashed kind of a few days ago. Really, it's been crashing for the last few weeks. In my opinion, on the back of negative Omicron news, there was that kind of panic selling mentality and that skittishness, which is unfortunate because this entire crypto space is supposed to be kind of like anti-correlated to the rest of that investment reality, but not always in practice, right? People want to still take profits and whatnot. This is good to see, though. This is good to see that when we have negative financial news that pertains to the US dollar, which is not a good thing. I'm not rooting for that personally. But when we do see that news, it's encouraging to see that there is an anti-correlation, at least in this respect. So again, as I sit down to record here, we'll refresh one more time. But Bitcoin doing pretty well, just below $44,000 right now US, which is still down significantly from its all-time high of about 69K. But we're up 3.9% on the day. It feels like the first day that we're up in actually a long time. It feels like it's been a while since we've enjoyed these kinds of numbers, which are still fairly modest. But that being said, we're going to go through a few examples now, a few different projects that are doing particularly well, that are up double-digit percentages. Just a little bit of context here. We'll cover a couple of important stories that I think are worth mentioning. If you want to dive deeper into the dynamics of the crypto market, check out this piece on CoinDesk.com. So market wrap: Bitcoin and equities stabilize as sentiment improves. Buyers are starting to return, at least over the short term. Now, does this mean there's an abatement in terms of the FUD that we're seeing with regard to Omicron? Possibly. I think people are kind of exhausted with that negativity, and eventually there's enthusiasm that has to flood back into the market. Personally, I think this is more a reflection of what we saw in that CPI basket, the 7% inflation. But look, problems in real life, as I like to say, are multivariate. Everybody likes to attribute sort of, the one problem to one issue, one variable. That's not how it works out in real life. Reality is complicated. So let me know. I mean, I think that's the leading cause, the inflation. But if you guys have another point of view, let me know in the comments below. Let's get into some of our favorite projects. This particular tweet here by CoinDesk relates to what's happening with Harmony, which we're very, very excited about. It's on the verge of new all-time highs, really at a low point in the market. So can you imagine where Harmony, ticker 1ONE, is going to go once things really start to roll? Here we have CoinDesk tweeting, the phone FOAN narrative has gained favor among crypto investors in search of the next layer one play. So if you're not familiar with this phone, Fantom Harmony lead gains in major cryptos as DeFi narrative heats up. Near Broke set a new high, while tokens of Cosmos gained 10% in the last 24 hours. So the crypto market has surged in the last day or so. Bitcoin again adding several $1,000s to what was a low point a few days ago. In the opinion of this author, and in my opinion, yes, on the back of a US Federal Reserve commitment to curb the impact of inflation. While major cryptocurrencies saw prices spike higher, current favorites, Fantom, which we're going to look at in just a second, FTM is the ticker, Harmony, ONE, Cosmos, Atom, and Near surged as high as 21%. So if you haven't pieced it together yet, phone is the acronym for Fantom, and this is going by the tickers. F for FTM, One for Harmony, ONE, Cosmos is Atom, so there's the A, and Near, N, phone, FOAN. So these phone tokens have really done very well. Layer one blockchains are platforms such as Ethereum, Fantom, and Solana that can support products and services built atop their networks. You guys already know this. So there seems to be a demand, at least right now, for this kind of subset of projects. And all of these are performing particularly well. Again, let's refresh this, but Harmony sitting at about 34 cents right now. That's equivalent to an increase in 24 hours of 11.9%. So look, we try not to be too, blatant about it. We have to speak a little bit surreptitiously because officially and legally we cannot offer financial advice. But you guys know what the tried and tested wisdom is. You know what the real gurus do. The people that are the wealthiest in the world live, as far as investments go, by kind of making their decisions rationally, removing their emotions from the equation, and buying up assets, whether cryptocurrency or otherwise, buying up assets on the dip. So for all of you members of the Altcoin Buzz army that were able to buy up assets on the dip, it's kind of a counterintuitive thing, because the world is falling apart, prices are bleeding. You don't want to put money into that, but you have to be a bit of a contrarian because that is the time to make big moves. And it's not a move that's necessarily going to pay off right away or the next day. Maybe it's going to pay off a year from now, maybe more, maybe less. But for those of you that did it, again, never financial advice, but kudos if that's the move that you made. Harmony alone has netted you 12% in 24 hours. Binance is tweeting. Binance Loans adds collateral assets, FTM and Near. So talking about that group of assets that are getting a lot of attention. Speaking of FTM Fantom, they're up even more, sitting at just over $2.90. FTM Fantom is up 13% on the day. Not too bad. This is a tweet that may help some of you guys, but Forbes is tweeting about TaxBit, which just announced a new network that will provide free, unlimited federal information returns needed for cryptocurrency and NFTs investors for 2021 for transactions that were conducted on exchanges that belong to the TaxBit network. Just kind of throwing it out there really quickly. If that's something that may pertain to you, that you can benefit from, read more about that on Forbes.com. Moonbeam is another project that we're excited about. We're covering their development here, news with regards to Polkadot. So Moonbeam is live on Polkadot. and they're excited to announce that Moonbeam is the first fully operational parachain on Polkadot. Moonbeam will bring many new integrations, activity, and users to light up Polkadot's ecosystem. More information about that is available on moonbeam.com, but congratulations not only to Moonbeam, but on Polkadot, or I should say to Polkadot as well, for that partnership integration news. So I know we were talking about sort of that main variable in the context of the market uptick was the inflation news coming out of the Federal Reserve, but again, problems are multivariate. Good things are also multivariate in nature. Here's another piece of the puzzle. So parent company of Brazil's largest crypto exchange has entered Europe with a Portuguese acquisition. 2TM, the holding company of Mercado Bitcoin, acquired Crypto Loja, Portugal's first licensed crypto exchange, as step one of its plans to expand into Europe. So clearly, I mean, if you live in one of those countries, maybe it's more kind of big news for you. If you haven't heard about this, but again, people are interested. There's an appetite among consumers, among customers, among investors, and it's not sensational news. It's not groundbreaking or world-shattering in and of itself, but it's all about laying those bricks, right? We're laying the bricks. We're carefully creating the foundation and the structure of this cryptocurrency decentralized edifice that we're creating. It's one brick at a time, but this is a good piece of news. Let's move right along to one of our last updates here. We're celebrating the big winners of the day, and CELR network ticker SC. Ticker CELR is another big winner. It's up over 11% on the day. So CELR network sitting at about 7.5 cents. I think it has a previous all-time high of approximately 19 cents. Let's double check that. All-time high, 19, as you can see here, 0.48 cents. That was set about 4 months ago. So we're still kind of just at about a third of where we were previously at an all-time high, but nice one day, 11.2% jump for CELR. They're in the news here. At CELR Network is the Twitter handle. Announcing our partnership with Harmony Protocol. So we're bringing things together. You can see to bookend the video. You can now bridge USDC and WETH between Harmony Protocol and other C-Bridge supported chains. Get ready. We're also launching liquidity mining sessions for USDC and ETH. Details are available on blog.celer.com. Another couple of quick points as far as big macro news relating back to, I guess, inflation, but not US inflation in this case. So breaking news, Strike has officially launched Bitcoin Lightning services in Argentina. For the Argentinians out there in the Altcoin Buzz army, you guys are feeling the pinch. You guys are feeling your buying power being absolutely shredded. Argentina suffered something, I am not providing an exact quote here, but something like 50% inflation over the course of these last 12 months. So just absolutely being decimated in terms of their purchasing power, 50% inflation. This is why there's that appetite, that hunger, that demand for Bitcoin, which solves many of these problems, at least the inflation ones. Last time they launched in another country, it became legal tender. You guys may remember a little country by the name of El Salvador. That was a little bit of a prelude to very good news in El Salvador. Let's see what happens in Argentina, but certainly I know that there must be a lot of Argentinians that would prefer some of these decentralized solutions, aka Bitcoin, in favor and instead of what they're seeing with their local currency, which at the time escapes me. I don't want to misquote the name of the Argentinian currency, but 50% inflation, not very good. Finally, guys, in the news today, we have the Central Bank of Iran and the Ministry of Industry, Mine, and Trade reportedly agreeing to allow businesses to settle payments using cryptocurrencies. Not bad. All right, so there we have it, members of the Altcoin Buzz army. Let us know what you think about these developments in the comments below. Let me know if you agree with my hypothesis that all of this exuberance today is being driven, at least primarily, by the inflation news that we're seeing out of the Federal Reserve. Again, never financial advice. It's only our opinions. But if you enjoy our opinions, be sure, again, to like, subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications. Check out these other videos, guys, which should be popping up right about now. Stay safe, members of the Altcoin Buzz army. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.